Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I'll be going over how I set up my printers when I go on vacation. Summertime, a lot of people are starting to go on vacation, and sometimes we'll leave out of here and go on vacation for weeks, months at a time, take a printer with us and leave the rest of them here. So we like to keep prints going to those printers to make sure we're not having to do a whole bunch of maintenance when we get back, so we can get right back into making money. So this is for PC users. I'm using Windows 10, but you can use any version of Windows. First thing you want to do is make sure that we have a file to print. Now, normally we would use a purge file. Took a purge file and jazzed it up a little bit, made it like a tie-dye effect here. So what I'm going to do is save this temporarily to my desktop. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, but I'm going to save it as a PNG, and then I'm going to actually link to it. So if you guys want to download this and follow along and have something to print out for your printers as well, then I'll have a link to this in the description on where to get this. So let me go ahead and save that to my desktop temporarily. And it's basically just a legal size document with all the CMYK colors on it. So don't need this anymore. Go ahead and close out of this, out of Photoshop. All right, so here is my CMYK tie-dye document here. And being that I'm going to be running this while I'm on vacation, and it needs to be in a certain location and stay in a certain location, I'm going to put it in my C drive in a folder called Vacation. And that way I can store it in there and it'll always be out of the way. I don't have to worry about moving it from my desktop or accidentally deleting it or anything like that. So let me right click on my C drive, and then I'm going to click on New, or hover over New and click Folder. And I'm going to name that folder Vacation. All right. I'm going to take that file that we created or saved to the desktop. I'm just going to cut it, and then I'm just going to paste it into that vacation folder. And now it's out of the way. And when I need to run it, it's going to run directly from the C drive, and it creates a shorter path name. So I'll go ahead and X out of here. Actually, I'm just going to minimize this for now. And now that we have the file that we're going to print, we're going to need the program to print that file, or the program to make that command line so that we can print that file out on a weekly basis. So now what I need to do is open up my browser here, and I'm going to go to website cmd2printer.com. It's going to take me to this website for the 2Printer program, and what it is, it's a command line program that can basically print documents from the command line. And the idea is we're going to make the command line and then put that command line in a task for it to run twice a week when we're on vacation, or just twice a week if you have printers like I do that I don't really use a lot. So I keep forgetting to run something on them, and then they wind up getting clogs, and I have to do all the maintenance on them. So hopefully this will alleviate some of that maintenance that I have to do when I don't run the printer as much as I should. So from here, we're going to click on Download for Windows. It's going to take you to the trial version, and the trial version is pretty much the same as the commercial version, except it prints out a special report on the end, basically asking you like, hey, if you like this, to go ahead and try purchasing it. But if you only are going to use it for this, you know, it's up to you if you want to spend the $149 on the license. I think it's fine in the free version for doing what we need it for. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Download Now and let that set up and let that save to my desktop here. And while that's downloading, I want you to, we can go over here and click on Syntax. And basically it's going to give us instruction on how to create the command lines in the command line environment. I'm not going to go over all of this on what to do. I'm just going to show you how to use it for what we want to use it for. So I need you to scroll down halfway till you get to where it says Common Options. And at the end of that little area here, or the end of this little Common Options area, you're going to see 3 examples. On that third example, we're going to copy this text here. And I'll copy this and put this in the description as well, so it'll be there so you guys can copy and paste it. Again, if you can copy and paste, you can set this up. So we're going to copy this, and then we're going to go to our desktop and go back to your desktop, and we're going to right click on the desktop anywhere, hover over new, and we're going to click on text document. And we're going to name that text document, let's call it 2 printer commands. And then we're going to open it, right click, and then we're going to paste that example line into this document, and we're going to save it. Then we're going to go to anything that's in these quotations. So this right here is a sample of a file source. And this right here is the example of a printer. But since they're examples, we're not going to use them. We're just going to delete them. So anything in the quotations, we're going to delete. And then I'm going to save this again. And this notepad is pretty much just like a piece of scratch paper. We're just going to put our commands in it, and we're going to copy and paste. Again, if you can copy and paste, you can set this up very, very easily. So now that we have the command line saved, and you can look over here and see that the 2 printer finally finished downloading. So we're going to go ahead and set that up. And click on yes. Click on yes here. Saying that I have an old version on here, so I'm going to click on yes to remove that old version. We're going to accept here, and we're just going to let it do its thing. We don't need to open this up after it's finished, so we'll close that, click on next. All right, so once the installation is finished, we can go ahead, we can close out of here for now. And so now we should have this right here on the screen. We should have the program installed at this point, and we should have 2 printer commands text document open. I'm just going to save it again just to make sure. I'm going to close this down, and then what I need to do is restart. So I'm going to click on my restart here. All right, so back from the restart, what we need to do is get our file that we moved to that vacation folder, or the file that you want to print out. So we're going to go to our vacation folder where we moved ours, and we're running Windows 10. So we're going to highlight this file, and then up here at the top, you'll see copy path. You're going to click on that. Or if you don't have this copy path, or if you're running a different version of Windows like Windows 11, what you can do is hold down the Shift key on the keyboard, then right click on the file here, and then we're going to select copy as path. And what that'll do is copy it to the clipboard so we can paste it later. Once you get that path copied, we're going to come back here to our 2 printers command text document, and we're going to highlight both the quotation marks. And once they're both highlighted, we're going to right click and click paste, and that's going to put the path into the command line that we need. So now we have the file here. We need to get the printer here to tell it, what printer to send it to. So if you have one printer, like a lot of you do, this is going to be super duper easy. What you want to do is click on your start menu, and then now you'll see a folder that says 2 printer here. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to click on examples. And in that examples folder, you're going to see a batch file that says get printers list. We're going to double click on that, and it's going to show all of the printers that we have installed here. You can see I have 14 on mine, 10 of which we actually use. And for this purpose of this video, we're only going to deal with about 4 of them here. So what I want to do is I can close this this folder here out. We can close that out. So now we should be looking at this. We should have the scratch paper here, or our 2 printers commands here, and we should have our get printers list here. So it has all the names of our printers here. So we already got the name of our file here on this portion of it. Now we need to put in our printer name. So we're just going to pretend like I only have the one printer. So we're going to highlight the entire printer here, entire printer name, including the quotations, and click on copy, or just right click on the mouse and it'll copy it to the clipboard. So either or. I'm going to right click here, and then we're going to go back to our text document. We're going to highlight both of these quotation marks. And once they're highlighted, we're going to right click on our mouse, click on paste, and that's going to paste the name of the printer that we're going to send our document to. Actually, let me go ahead and change this. I'm going to change it to a different printer here, one that's literally sitting right next to me. So WFC 5210. And this printer actually has Chipless Firmware on it from inkchip.net. So if you guys need Chipless Firmware, or if you need to reset a waste ink counter, you need to hit up inkchip.net. And when you're there, make sure you type in the coupon code GORILLA, save 10% off at checkout. If you have any questions, you can email them directly at info@inkchip.net, and I'll put a link in the description for that as well. Got our 5210 series here. So this is now edited to print that purge file out on this printer here. So we have the to printer is the name of the command, and then all this here is switches or arguments, if you will. So now we have to create this command and put it in a scheduler so that we can run it as many times as we want, or as many times as we need to. So what we want to do now is click on our magnifying glass here for search, and we're going to type in task, and we're going to get to our task scheduler here. So type in task, and we want to click on the task scheduler app. And once we're in the task scheduler, you're going to see a bunch of scheduled tasks here that you do not want to mess with. We just want to click on this task scheduler library here. We're going to expand it by clicking the arrow down. Then we're going to right click on here, and we're going to click on a new folder, and we're going to name this my task. And that way we can have our task in here, and it won't interfere with anything else. It won't interfere anyways, but at least we'll be able to find it and delete it if we need to. So we'll click on my tasks, click on OK. And in the my task, we'll go ahead and highlight that. And you can see we don't have any tasks in there, so we're going to click on create task. And what we'll do is give that task a name. We'll call this vacation, and prints while on vacation. And so the security options here, what I want to do is I'm going to click on run whether the user is logged in or not. That way, if the computer reboots, or if we have a power outage or something like that, the way the computer is set up is when the power goes out and the computer dies, it's a laptop. If the laptop dies and it dies off of battery power, once AC power is established again, the computer will turn back on. So when it turns back on, it won't be logged in. It'll just be sitting there at the login screen. So clicking on this radio button will allow me to store the credentials here with the task. So whenever the task needs to be run, it'll put the credentials in, log in as me, and send the print jobs to the printer. So we'll go ahead and click on run whether the user is logged in or not, and we're going to click on run with the highest privileges. We're going to go to triggers here and click on new, and we're going to keep it here as on a schedule, and we're going to put it on weekly. And let's say we're going to run this every Wednesday and every Saturday, and we want it to run at, let's do 10 in the morning, every morning, or on the mornings of Wednesdays and Saturdays. So once we got that, we'll go ahead and click on OK. And I'm going to skip over actions for now, and we're going to go to conditions. I want to wake the computer to start this task or run this task. And then in my settings here, I'm going to click on run task as soon as possible. If for some reason it doesn't go off when it's scheduled to, and it misses it, it can run it as soon as it's back up and running, and it doesn't have to wait for the next event. So we'll go ahead and go to our actions, and this is where we're going to use our scratch paper for, or our two printer commands here. So twoprinter.exe is the name of the program. So we can copy that part. Again, if you can copy and paste, you can set this up. So we're going to copy just twoprinter.exe and click on new and program/script twoprinter.exe. All right. So then in add arguments, we're going to click on that. We're going to go ahead and copy the rest of this. And go back to our task manager, or task scheduler, and add those into the arguments and click OK. All right, so now we got that good to go. And to test this out, we can just click OK first here, and it's going to ask for your credentials. Again, just in case it's not logged in, it'll have the credentials stored and it'll enter them before it runs the script. So click OK, and now it's ready to go. So it hasn't run yet. And again, if you just have the one printer, we can go ahead and click on run and see if it works. All right, so the printer is printing, so we know that it works. So if I want to add those other printers, I can go back in here and right click on this, click on properties, and then I can go to my actions and edit these here. So what I want to do is add those other printers. And what I'll do is I'll click on new, and again, the program is always going to be two printer, and then the arguments will come here. Again, this was the 5210 series. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that here, and what I'm gonna do is just copy this for now, and I'm gonna just paste a few more of these. So now what I can do is go back here to my printers list, and I can add my Epson ET2700 series. We'll go ahead and add that. So we'll paste that there. We'll go back here. Let's do our ET8550, and we'll paste it. Again, all I had to do was right click on it. It automatically copies it to the clipboard. So, and we'll do one of our 2860s. Let's do this, the one on the left. Go ahead and copy that by right clicking, going up into my two printers command, text document, highlighting both quotes, right clicking on the mouse and hitting paste. And that's going to put the name of my printer into this command line text. And now I can save it, and then I can go back to my actions, and each one of these lines I now can add, and that'll be a different action. So each time this script runs, it'll fire the purge file on all four of these printers. So I'm going to add the arguments for the let's see, that's the, so that's a WF. So we're going to do the 2700. So we'll copy this entire line here up to the source part. There we go. And then in my arguments, I'm going to hit paste. Click OK. And now that's for the 2700. So this is the 5210 series. This is the 2700 series. This is the 8550. So we'll just go and select this portion, copy anything after the two printer, exe in the space. So back here, new, add arguments, Control V, and again, the program is always two printer, hit OK. Last one, again, from here to here, copy, click on new, paste that into the arguments, program/script, it's going to be two printer, and click OK. So let me go set up the camera, and I can show you how it prints on all four of them. Okay, so now I got the camera set up. So went ahead and got all of these printers into the same, pretty much the same script here. So we'll go ahead and click on, or the same task rather. So we'll go ahead and click on OK here. It's going to ask me for my credentials again. All right. And now it's ready to go. So I'm going to run this again, and I'm going to see if I can get the video going and catch it running at the same time. So we'll go ahead and emulate like it's on the day that it's supposed to run on the, what is it set for? Wednesday and Saturday. So it's already running. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so here it is running on the 5210. And here it is running on the 8550, the 2700, the 2860. All right, and back in here to the 5210, and this is the printout, or the status sheet that it prints out once it's done. So again, with the free version, you're gonna get this status status print, or this what is this thing called? Anyway, you're gonna get this saying, you know, that Michael Bogov thanks you for using 2Printer. So, and we thank you for making it. So that's what it is in the free version. If you get the commercial version, you won't get this page here. So let's get back to the computer. Okay, so here we are back on the computer here. So now that we got this running, and we know it's good to go, we can go ahead and disable it. And we can turn it on once we go on vacation, or you can just enable it and go in here and edit your actions, and you can turn on the ones or keep the ones that you might just not use as much anymore. So if I don't use this 2700 as much, or the 8550, which I don't really use as much, I could just have this on and it'll just print, and that way I don't have to worry about reminding myself, hey, you need to print something on the 8550, hey, you need to print something on the 2860. It'll just be in there and printing twice a week, whether I remember or not. And again, a good thing about this is it doesn't need to be connected to the internet for it to work. So I've seen some solutions where, you know, you can set up Epson Print and the printer gets its own email address, and you can send prints directly to the printer, which is cool. But if you don't have internet access, or if the printer itself loses internet access, say if your router loses internet access, or your cable modem gets, I don't know, something happens where you don't have internet access, but you have access to your Wi-Fi locally, this will still work for you. Or if you have just your printer connected to your computer via USB cable, then it'll always work, especially if it's the only printer that you have there. It'll send that command line out and print from the command line like it's supposed to. So if this video was helpful, you know, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and close this out and get everything squared away here so we can go on vacation. And until next time, guys, good luck and good night.